Hello, and all. Welcome to the Galaxy Man Show. I am here with my first guest of this brand new week, with this incredible artist known by the name of Kaiyah Mercedes. So I'm proud to announce Kaiyah to join the show for the Galaxy Man Show today. And yeah, here's the first guest, which is Kaiyah Mercedes. Please welcome Kayla. Hello, how's it going?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Really good, thank you. I just want to say first up, thank you so much for taking the time to join my show. It is such an incredible pleasure having you on the show for today. To people that don't know who you are, if you can give like a bit of backstory about yourself, and then we'll dive right into the questions.
So I'm Kai Mercedes. I'm 17 and I've been writing songs since I was around 13. And last year I released my debut album, Hindsight, and now I've started releasing some new songs, starting with Hide With Me, which is very exciting.
So we'll dive right into the questions now. So for my very first question, you have created incredible original songs, and for the first original song I'm going to mention is "Hide with Me." Like, what was it like coming up with the idea, creating this song? Like, what's the meaning behind "Hide with Me"?
It was inspired by heaps of different like queer coming of age stories that I've seen in the past few years, as well as like my own discovery of myself and who I am. And I put all of that into this one song, which is about the joy of discovering who you are. And Hide With Me is truly one of my favorite songs about just that pure joy of being yourself and unashamedly like just being who you are and pushing that out into the world.
So on to my very next question. So you've also created a single called "The Day We Remember," which is such an incredible title, by the way. What was it like creating this one, and what's the meaning behind this song?
So that song is actually about my best friends. I sort of I sometimes feel like I struggle to express to my friends how much they truly mean to me because I do love these people with my whole heart. And so I really wanted to write a song to sort of show them that. And even the music video, I had all of my friends in that, and it's one of my favorite pieces of work. But writing this song was just a beautiful moment of like really expressing how much of an impact all of these people have made in my life. And I feel very lucky that I have a platform to be able to tell them that in such a really cool and interesting way.
So on to my very next question. So you've also created a single called "After Summer Ends." What was it like creating this one, and what's the meaning behind this song?
So that song is a story that I'd created, like a fictional love story. It's like a one-shot summer romance sort of thing. Um, and it was really fun making this song because I kind of got to put myself in the shoes of someone who isn't me. It's just like an author writing a novel. Like I got to be someone else for a moment while writing this song. And it's definitely one of my favorite songs because it was my debut single. It was the first song that put my mark in the music industry. And I don't know, I feel like people get to listen to this song and go on a little journey and a little story. And that's something I really love about it.
On to my very next question. So, what made you decide as a person and especially as an artist to get into singing in the first place?
It was a really strange sort of start into it. We'd just gone into the first COVID lockdown, and I was honestly just trying to find a way to express myself and this, like, the feelings that I was going through in this isolation. And music is something I just started teaching myself. It was very just natural. And I'd always sort of wanted to be a musician, but I'd never done anything about it. So when I'd first sung in front of my mum, she was the one who really pushed me to take singing lessons and to start writing and keep writing. And so, yeah, I think it was all a very natural cascade of events. I didn't sort of go one day, I'm going to be a singer and that's the career path I'm choosing. It just sort of unfolded naturally.
So on to my very next question. So, what does performing like music mean to you? Like, especially as an artist, when you're performing in front of crowds, like, what does it mean to you?
I love being able to feel that connection with an audience with these songs that I've written and poured my whole entire heart and soul into, and to see people listen and especially after shows, and I get to talk to people, and they tell me that the songs that they like the most and the songs they connected with and why. I sort of really get to form a really personal connection with audiences and people I've never met, and it's really beautiful to have that sort of connection with people because it is rare and it's such a deep connection because music is a way that people and strangers can connect with other people. So I don't know, I love being able to do that.
So on to my very next question. So what would be your all-time favorite cover song to perform and why?
Oh, I have a few cover songs that I love doing. I think my favorite would probably have to be Young and Beautiful by Lana Del Rey. It's one of my favorite songs to listen to, and I'm a big fan of The Great Gatsby, because a book nerd. But yeah, I got to performing that song. It's just such a magical feeling. I don't really know how to describe it, but I love performing that song.
So on to my very next question. So if you could work with any top three music artists in the music industry, like who do you think you would want to work with and why?
I think number one would probably be Dave Grohl because huge fan of Foo Fighters, but I'm also just a fan of Dave Grohl personally because he's such an incredible musician, and is a very talented lyricist as well as just like instrumental. And I really admire that, and that's the sort of person I want to become. And I think, yeah, Dave Grohl is someone I really want to work with. Next will probably be Taylor Swift because she's the person who really inspired me to write a lot of my songs. And I also think she's just incredibly talented, but she's also very business minded, which is something you need in the music industry. So that's a very inspiring trait that she has. And then I think third would be Delaney Bailey. She's more of an indie musician, but her lyrics, like her songs, inspire me so much, and her lyricism is just unparalleled. And I think if there was any song that I wish I wrote, it would be a Delaney Bailey song. So yeah.
That's my very next question. So if you could go anywhere on tour, take your music to any place, any country in the world, like where would you want to go to for your music and why?
That's such a great question. I think I'd love to go somewhere in Europe. Um, I'm thinking, oh, I think Italy. Italy is one of my favorite countries in the world. And the first ever big spike that I had in my listeners was from Italy. And I remember joking to
Okay.
my mum about wanting to go on tour in Italy. But yeah, Italy is one of my favorite countries. And so I think that would be really, really cool to go there.
So that's my very next question. So if you could like give up and coming artists any advice on wanting to start out in the music industry, like what advice would you give them and why?
Meet as many people as you can because people who are in the music industry are the people who have helped me the most because they're the ones who have had to learn. They've already learned the things that you are trying to learn, and they're the best people to give firsthand advice on where you need to go. The only reason that I have been able to put my foot into the music industry is because of people like my mentors, Francesca de Valence and Sam Buckingham, who have guided me and taught me everything they know. So learning is the most important thing, but learning from people who have been in your shoes before is just the best people to learn from.
So on to my very next question. So if you could give your younger self advice, like looking back over your time in the music industry career, like if you could give your younger self advice, what would it be for your younger self?
When I first started, deciding to be a musician and making my own music, I really wanted to rush in and just like record this album that I had an idea for. And I think thanks to people like my mentors, they told me to slow down. And I didn't really want to do that. They told me to slow down and work on who I am as a musician and myself as an artist. And although that was really something I didn't want to do, I just wanted to jump straight into putting music out. It's the thing that really helped me be as successful as I am today. And so, even though it can suck having to take your time, it's something that's so incredibly important to producing your best work.
On to my very next question. So like what are the positive and negative side into the music industry and how do you get through those like negative moments as an artist?
there's a lot of insecurity that's involved in, putting out music because someone like me, I'm writing about some things that have been like really, really difficult for me to experience. And I always try and put my rawest, most true self into my music. So, um, as well as that, there's also like the insecurity, like, is my voice good enough? Are my songs good enough to be in the industry? Are people going to like what I'm putting out there? There's so much insecurity that you have to battle. But I think working with people like my current producer, Satali Mack, I trust her judgment. And if she says that I'm just being insecure and my songs are actually good, then I trust her. So you sort of have to battle all of that insecurity, but there's so much good in being able to connect with people and being able to create connections with people by being true and authentic and raw and honest, because other people can relate to that honesty and find connection and relatability in that. So I think putting your truest self out there can be so frightening, but it's also so worth it.
On to my very last question. So, like, what's next for you for the rest of 2023 and onwards? Like, anything you would like to announce on the show?
I am currently working on my next project. I've been working on a lot of new music over the past few months, and it's going to be a very exciting next 6 months. So you should definitely keep an eye out on what's coming up. But I can say that there will be a couple more releases before the end of the year, which I'm very, very excited for.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to join my show, Kaiyah. It has been such an incredible pleasure having you on the show for today. Everyone, go support more inspiring artists like Kaiyah in this world. She's amazing. Definitely go follow her on Instagram, all the social platforms. Definitely go follow her. Go show her the support. Any last final thoughts that you'd like to share to people on the show?
I'd just like to say thank you so much for having me. It's been incredible talking to you.
It's been a long time. We both fight the same fight, and I'm tired. Turn on the light. I'm afraid of the night, and I'm tired. We both put our hearts across the line that was drawn, and now we're intertwined. We roll down roaring fields. Tell me, is this real? Stand in my doorway, call out to me. I'll keep you a secret if you want, baby. Underneath crying skies, hide in your waterfall eyes, and I will warn you. I understand that love is pain. I'll hold you close and do the ache, 'cause I only want you. We roll down roaring fields. Tell me, is this real? Stand in my doorway, call out to me. I'll keep you a secret if you want, baby. I see you dancing with your ghosts. You're the missing piece of my soul. I know it scares you to come out of the shadows, but I'll hold your hand and I won't let you go. Walking there along the beach, waters I have never seen. Scream your secrets to the breeze. I'm the picture on your home screen. dream